Like and subscribe right now, or this spider will crawl in your face while you're sleeping. There's a saying that goes something like this: don't mess around with nature. Okay, so it's not an actual saying, but rather common sense. Or what about this one? Dang nature, you scary. Yes, Mother Nature is indeed scary. She can be as aggressive as she is gentle, and the people in this video found out the hard way that you don't mess around with wild animals. While none of them were necessarily eaten, some suffered excruciating pain and were scarred for life. That being said, let's take a look at 10 people who found themselves staring death in the face after a vicious attack from a wild animal. Number 10. The vengeful tiger. Getting on the bad side of a wild tiger is a pretty bad idea and could have some seriously undesirable consequences. Russian poacher Vladimir Markov found out the hard way after attacking one in the Russian Far East in 1997. Markov shot and wounded the tiger during a hunt, and to add insult to injury, he took part of its kill. The tiger didn't forget, and between 12 and 48 hours later, it tracked Markov to the cabin where he lived. But Markov wasn't home, so the tiger destroyed anything in the cabin that has his scent, and patiently waited for him to arrive. When Markov finally did, the tiger killed and ate him. To date, this remains the only time a tiger has been known to have deliberately tracked down a specific human and waited for him before killing and eating him. Number 9. Don't mess about with this octopus. Don't be fooled by their blank stares and squishy tentacles. Octopuses are extremely intelligent animals with good vision and the ability to remember things. They are also capable of holding grudges and taking revenge whenever they get the chance. This was the case of Truman, an octopus that used to live at the New England Aquarium in Boston, Massachusetts. Truman took a particular dislike for a woman who was volunteering at the aquarium and would shoot a stream of water at her every opportunity he got. The lady later left for college but returned for a visit a few months later. Truman, who hadn't been shooting water at anyone in the meantime, quickly shot a stream of water at her moments after he saw her. Number 8. Barking dogs that do not lie. In 2015, a man in Chongqing, China drove to his home one evening to find a stray dog lying in his parking space. Instead of shooting the dog, he proceeded to kick it out of the way before parking his car and entering his home. The canine didn't take the kicking incident lying down. It left but returned with more dogs, and they all proceeded to vandalize the man's car. They used their jaws to make dents in the car and bite the windshield wipers. The man was shocked when he awoke the next morning to find his car full of dents. He only realized what had happened when a neighbor who saw the dogs attacking the car told him. Number 7. Crows recognized and attacked some researchers for capturing them. Crows are good at recognizing people who trouble them, and will often taunt and dive bomb these people whenever they see them around. Some researchers who had been capturing and attaching identification bands on some crows discovered that the birds kept grudges when they noticed that the crows made noises and swooped at them whenever they entered their territory. To prove their theory, the researchers started wearing masks when capturing and tagging the birds. With time, they realized that the crows made noises whenever they saw the masked person around. The crows didn't forget the faces and still recognized the masks even after they didn't see them for a whole year. More interesting is the fact that the crows taught their children that people with faces were their enemies. So the baby crows will scold and dive bomb at the perceived enemies even if they have never seen them capturing a crow before. Number 6. A leopard brutally attacked a park ranger for poking her with a stick. In Lake Nakuru National Park, Kenya, a female leopard became a nuisance to some communities after she started feeding on their livestock. The people, fearing that the leopard might soon become a man-eater, called in park rangers to capture and relocate the animal. The leopard was captured and relocated, but refused to leave her cage at the back of the pickup truck used to transport her. It was at this point that things got nasty. One of the rangers, Alexander Rono, poked the leopard with a long stick from the cabin of the truck, hoping she would leave the cage and escape. The leopard did not appreciate the gesture and roared aggressively at the pokes. She even bit the stick at one point, but still did not leave the cage. When she finally did, she didn't immediately flee. Rather, she turned toward the front of the vehicle and tried unsuccessfully to jump into the cabin where Alexander was seated. Alexander tried rolling up the windows but wasn't fast enough. the leopard tried jumping a second time and got half her body in. She engaged Alexander in a serious scuffle and repeatedly tore his face with her 8-centimeter claws while attempting to deliver a fatal bite to his neck. At one point, Alexander had his hand in her mouth. The attack continued, and the leopard almost got all the way into the truck until Alexander raised his feet and kicked her out of the window, sending her running into the forest. Alexander suffered severe injuries and almost went blind. He required 21 stitches to close his wounds. Yep, don't go poking a wild leopard with a stick. Number 5. Camel beheads owner. The camel is one of the most vengeful animals in the world. They have excellent memories and can hold grudges against people who harm them. Harming a camel is likely to lead to a revenge attack that will most likely end in death. One Indian man found this out the hard way in 2016 after he was killed by his own camel. The man, Urjaram, had been so engrossed in hosting some guests in his home that he forgot about the camel he tied out in the scorching sun for the whole day. When he tried untying the camel at night, the already angry camel caught him by the neck and lifted him up before throwing him back to the ground. It then proceeded to chew on his neck until his head was separated from the body. It took 25 villagers about 6 hours to calm the angry camel down. Number 4. 2 herds of elephants attacked a village over the death of another elephant. In July 2016, members of several villages around the Champao Forest Range in Kanajar, India suffered a series of elephant invasions that lasted over 2 weeks. Over 15 days, 16 elephants from 2 different herds launched a number of night attacks on the villages and destroyed 54 homes. Investigators revealed that the cause of the attacks was the killing of a male elephant on the night of July 11th. Some poachers from a neighboring state were responsible for poisoning and killing the elephant before making off with its tusks. However, the rest of the herd directed their aggression at the village and launched simultaneous attacks that left the villagers living under trees or makeshift sheds. And now we've come to the best pick of the day. Imagine the horror of being swallowed whole by a python. That must be the scariest experience in the world. In a few days, I bet he'll be a bowl of sweet soup. Ugh. Number 3. Skuas attacked researchers who disturbed their nests. Skuas are one of the several birds that live in Antarctica. While they evolved without human interaction, we know today that they have the ability to remember human faces and will attack people they assume to be enemies. Between 2014 and 2015, some Korean scientists based on King George Island started a study that involved them checking on the nests, eggs, and chicks of the Skuas. The Skuas weren't comfortable with this, and with time, they started attacking the researchers whenever they got close to their nests. To confirm whether the birds recognized them or just attacked any human, 2 researchers visited the nests together. One had previously visited the nest, while the other never had. The 2 researchers split up and went in 2 different directions whenever they got close to the nest. They discovered that the birds attacked the researcher who had previously visited the nest, while ignoring the one who had never been there before. In fact, with time, they didn't even wait for the scientists they branded as enemies to come close to their nest before they launched their assault. Number 2. A tigress attacked 3 men for taunting her. On December 25, 2007, a tigress escaped from its enclosure at the San Francisco Zoo and attacked 3 men. 2 of the men were brothers, and the third was their friend. The tigress, which was called Titania, first attacked one of the brothers. Their friend tried distracting her but only attracted calamity onto himself, as she left the first man and fatally attacked the second. Titania wasn't done. She followed the first man's blood trail for over 274 meters before catching up with the third man who had fled the scene. She attacked the third man but didn't kill him before she was killed by the police. The 2 surviving men initially denied taunting the tigress, but the third later confessed that they did taunt her. He claimed that all 3 yelled and waved at Titania, although he denied that they threw anything into her enclosure. Number 1. A tiger killed a poacher for shooting its cub. Yet again, we have a tiger that set up the perfect revenge plan. In India, a male tiger went on a rampage in 2016 after a poacher killed its tigress and cub. The poacher, who was called Baby, was among a party of brewers who illegally brewed alcohol in the forest. They came across the Tigress and cub during one of their illegal brewing expeditions. Baby shot and killed the Tigress and cub, and the men skinned her and shared her meat. The brewers returned 3 days later to meet the angry partner of the Tigress. The tiger pounced on Baby and mauled him badly before carrying him into the forest. Baby initially survived the attack, but the injuries soon proved fatal. The tiger did not stop at killing Baby. It continued patrolling the region for over 2 months, attacking any unfortunate human it came across. And with that being said, we've come to the end of this video. So, which one of these aggressive animals scared you the most? Let us know in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and share the video, as well as smash that like button for more enriching content.